Hi, I'm John Schroeder, and welcome to this latest edition of Casey Clips. I mentioned the topic of this video last time. I discussed why the Earth was an ideal place to find our way back to God. But that opened the question of how we came to be on Earth in the first place. Well, that's the topic, and here we go. According to the Casey readings, we were created in God's perfect image of pure consciousness. There was no time, space, energy, or matter to have a manifest universe. Rather than spend time describing what life is like without a physical existence, I can refer you to a novel I wrote entitled The Gates of Arcturus. That lays out the answer in story form. To make that long story shorter, Casey's readings say we made selfish choices and separated ourselves in consciousness from God before the Creator ever said, "Let there be light." So I want to speak about what happened after that point. Millions of years ago, some of God's confused souls were attracted to the earth for its beauty and the interesting limitations of three dimensions. We souls had the ability to insert our consciousnesses into the physical forms of the plant, animal, and mineral kingdoms in order to experience what life was like for such creations. We also experienced the limitations of the five senses and sequential time with the same curious joy we experience being drunk on Earth. And that was a case where doing this a few times led to doing it a lot. In fact, we became so addicted to living exclusively on the earth that we forgot who we are and the life that God intended for us. The soul we think of as Jesus, who the Casey readings refer to as Emilius, was asked to help the entrapped souls of earth regain all they had lost through their selfish choices and behaviors. He initially incarnated as Adam, the first man, in all five races of humanity. As things went, even Emilius and the other souls who agreed to help became caught up in the pleasures of the earth. It took 30 different human lifetimes, but Jesus once again attained the Christ consciousness and showed us the way back home. He became the perfect role model for how we too can do what he did. The Casey readings identified several of the 30 human lives of Jesus. I mentioned Adam, but he was also Melchizedek, Enoch, Joseph of the coat of many colors, Joshua, and Asaph, who was the seer and musician in the court of King David. Each of those lifetimes helped to remind Emilius of his goal to be a role model for all who would listen, rather than simply telling people, or worse yet, coercing people to live a life of love. As I said before, this is a complex subject, and it is one that I wrote a fictional account in order to make it easier to digest in a fun, entertaining way. You can buy a copy of the book on Amazon, but the purpose of this YouTube channel is to help rather than sell my books. If you can't afford to buy the book or are simply curious to learn more, send an email requesting a PDF copy of The Gates of Arcturus, and it'll be sent to you usually within 24 hours in PDF format. As always, feel free to use the comment section of this video to ask any questions that you have. Those too are usually answered within 24 hours. So until next time, remember that God loves you with an everlasting love.